One of the tenets in eclipse chasing is to always plan a wonderful trip around the eclipse. So if the weather does not cooperate, you still had a great vacation. As seasoned eclipse chasers, we started planning and booked reservations for the October 14th annular eclipse in January, months before it became news. Reviewing the possible sites, I chose Punta Uva. It was to have one of the longest viewing times. October is the driest month there, and it is one of the most beautiful beach areas on the Caribbean coast. I knew of Cabinas Aguilitas from past birding trips there and booked the entire place. A group of 11 friends, all birding club of Costa Rica members, embarked on a long weekend that explored many of the wonderful things to do and see in the southern Caribbean, plus the great Costa Rica eclipse. Our first stop was the Centro Manu. Manu is a beautiful little oasis of forest in the mainly deforested area around Guapiles. It is an area for hiking, picnics, and groups to enjoy the forest, but also for one of the more rare birds to see in Costa Rica, the bare-necked umbrella bird. Named for their strange comb-over hairstyle, they spend rainy season in the lowlands. It did not take long to spot one, and we were lucky to see 3 of them together, including one male with its red throat. We completed our drive to Aguilita's place, which would be our base for the weekend and the eclipse. We settled into the sweltering heat and did some successful birding around the cabinas in the morning. The next morning, we visited the Cocody Hawkwatch. Adjacent to the national park, it is indigenous land that hosts the nonprofit organization. A warm walk up almost 200 meters brought us to the tower, which is in the midst of reconstruction, but still a tad shaky to climb. The Hawkwatch is amazing. This area is a choke point for hundreds of thousands of migrating raptors, concentrating them as they fly by between the ocean and the Talamanca Mountains going into Panama. You stand there and see nothing. Then one raptor appears, then 10 more, then hundreds more and thousands more as they lower from the clouds. We watched hundreds and hundreds of broad-winged hawks, Mississippi kites, turkey vultures, and great black hawks migrate by. The local indigenous came and taught us a few Bribri words and treated us to locally grown chocolate drinks and roasted plantain. Saturday was the big day, the great Costa Rican eclipse. It was also unfortunately global big day, the one day a year all birders go out to count what birds they see. We did our part in the morning, finding about 40 species around the grounds as we started to set up, witnessing the early morning takeoff of the threatened great green macaws. We had the grounds between the cabins for ourselves, but just beyond the entrance, thousands started gathering on all the beaches from Puerto Viejo to Manzanillo. By 10 in the morning, you could not drive or park anywhere. At 10:16, we saw first contact when the moon takes its first bite out of the sun. Equipped with welding goggles, special glasses, and filters for cameras, telescopes, and binoculars, we watched as the moon progressed, eclipsing the sun. As we watched the eclipse progress, we had fun with shadows and projecting the crescent shape of the sun as it got thinner and thinner. We had camera screens to view and a telescope with a solar funnel projecting the eclipse. The sun slowly disappeared, and it got darker and cooler. At 12:04, as predicted, the last of the sun was eclipsed by the moon. You could hear the cheers and applause from the thousands on the beach as the sun reached annularity. The ring of fire had begun.
Oh, look at the beats, look at the beats, look at the beats. Oh my God. Oh, shit. Annularity.
Wow, what's happening?
Wow. Outside. Half a minute. Ring of fire. And we're watch about 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock. You might see beads again. Well, that's.
It's great.
Getting ready to exit. 3, 2, 1. No beads. Got some beads. Oh, I got more beads. Oh, that's freaking cool. Oh, look at the beads. Oh. And still beads, and still beads, still beads, still beads. Holy crap, I was right. And we're done.
We celebrated with the traditional champagne toast and bocas, relaxing in the shade as the final crescent shadows were cast on the way to fourth contact, when the moon no longer shadows the sun. Afterwards, we headed for dinner, many of us abandoning our cars and walking to the restaurant because of the gridlock of thousands of cars leaving for home. Our final day, we visited Coweta National Park for some snorkeling. Snorkeling, you say? Costa Rica is no Belize or Bonaire or Coral Triangle when it comes to coral reefs, but there are a few areas of reef in the parks, and even a reintroduction program for staghorn coral. You must take a boat and a guide to the reef areas that were surprisingly not bad at all. If in the area, I would recommend going out. The fish assemblage is nice, and the waters are calm and warm, unlike the Pacific. Reefs, Raptors, and the Ring of Fire. Truly, it was a special adventure.